fictional character within a story within the movie.
That's right.
What is the difference between playing a fictional character and just a regular fictional character?
Well, it depends on which way you want to look at it. I mean, the way that me and Tom decided was that there is a realm of creativity there that we can play around with. So you can, so with this character, Tom wanted him to be very big and elaborate and quite kooky and you know, so it's what fantasy can you bring to this, because it's a book.
I see them as extensions of each other. You know, I think Edward being the writer of the book that Tony is the lead character in, and that Tony's really expressing Edward's internal life and his heartbreak that he went through with Susan. They're sort of one and the same, you know. You could move either way with them, and I think you would see that they're both the same person.
Well, they're all fictional characters at the end of the day, you know. I mean, they're all imaginary. That's what I do for a living. I act like imaginary people, you know. So even if you're playing a real person, even if I was playing Elvis, I'm not really Elvis, you know. So no, it doesn't really affect it that much. It may have been more of an issue if I was like in both of the stories, if I was going back and forth between the LA part and but the fact is we shot the book stuff in a chunk at the beginning. So it was like almost like two completely separate movies.
Well, what was your first conversation with Tom Ford like?
I walked in with my own kind of prejudgment, I think. I think I kind of expected him to be really obsessed with aesthetic and the visual of the movie. And really, our first conversation was all about how personal this movie was to him. All about about the things he regrets in his life and that he wishes he had gone through with that he didn't, and that he needed to tell the story because of unrequited love in his own life. And I was so surprised how personal and moved I was how personal it was and how moved I was by the first conversation we had.
You know, he said something to me. He said, I feel like you know this character better than I do. And I'm just gonna kind of let you do your thing. I mean, there was one scene that we had a slight difference of opinion on, but even in that instance, he was very respectful. He'd say things like, "You might be right. I just had thought of it a different way, but you might be right." But he's thought about the movie so much. He's put so much work into it, so much preparation that I felt like I needed to take what he was saying into consideration.
Last night I gave an award to Ang Lee last night, and he said something really moving that I thought was true. He said, I pretend so I can get closer to the truth. And I thought that was a really articulate way of describing what hopefully people want to do with cinema, what people want to do with their art and expression, creativity, whatever they do. I don't think we should all pretend, but particularly in fictional world of making film, that's what we try and do. And I think people are accused all the time of, putting on a mask or faking it. And I think many people do. But I think at our heart, I think we want to get to something truthful. And sometimes the only way to get there is by, pretending in that way.